The woman's eyes were filled with despair. She just wanted to use the restroom on the plane. Just as she was about to return to her seat after using the restroom, the plane suddenly shook violently. The momentary weightlessness threw the woman into the air. When she woke up, she found the surroundings in a mess. The woman tried to open the restroom door, but couldn't open it no matter what. She could only forcibly kick it open with her foot. When she came out, she was instantly stunned. Outside, it was a world of ice and snow. Apparently, the plane had crashed into a snowy mountain during the flight. At this moment, she heard someone shouting not far away. An injured woman was struggling in the snow. Seeing this, she hurriedly went up to comfort the woman. The next second, the woman suddenly collapsed and stopped breathing. She called out loudly on the spot, feeling distressed. At this time, a man heard the sound and came out of the plane. There were only the two of them left on the entire plane. They could only rely on each other and find a way to leave this place. After collecting some usable supplies, they set off. Before long, they arrived at the edge of the snowy mountain. This was also the only way to leave this place. The two had no choice but to risk their lives and climb down along the cliff. But for the woman who had acrophobia since childhood, this was even harder than climbing to the sky. She stepped on air and almost fell. Fortunately, the man grabbed her. After unremitting efforts, the two finally reached the mountainside. However, the cliff here was 10 times more difficult than above. The woman just looked down and felt dizzy. They could only move sideways along the steps. After a few steps, the woman was blocked by a large rock and didn't dare to move forward. She glanced at the cliff under her feet and was so scared that she couldn't move. The man had no choice but to stretch out his hands to try to pull her over. Although the woman's legs were already weak, she had no choice but to risk her life to survive. She finally managed to cross over, but just as the man was about to move forward, he found that there were no more rock shelves. The two were thus trapped on the mountainside. At this moment, the man leaped and jumped down. He happened to fall on a tree. With the buffer of the big tree, the man successfully survived. He quickly told the woman this method. Unfortunately, asking the woman to jump down towards the big tree was too difficult for a woman with acrophobia. But with the man's encouragement, she still jumped down. Fortunately, the man caught her below. After a short rest, the two began to move on. They soon arrived at another snowy mountain. As they walked, the man saw a cave ahead. On this cold, snowy mountain, it was perfect for keeping warm. He hurriedly called out to the woman behind him, telling her to speed up. But at this time, the woman was obviously a little exhausted. Just as the man was about to go over and pull her, he suddenly saw a terrifying scene. He then immediately shouted at the woman,